The next speaker actually is a bunch of speakers, and this is exciting. Who's been to a debate? Anyone? A live debate? Yeah, cool, just a couple of people. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to fire you up, and I want to see a show of hands as to which team you're on, because there's a big debate at the moment. It's massive. The last 10 years of e-commerce growth have been all about what? Anyone? What have they been about? New customers or keeping the old customers? Acquisition or retention? What have they been about last 10 years? Acquisition, that's right. So who's team acquisition? Who thinks the future of e-commerce growth is all about acquisition? Anyone? Oof, Steely Room acquisition team. What about retention? Who's here? Team retention. All right, we're going to have a big debate. I'm going to introduce Steph Colley, a good friend from Uber Direct. She's got the wonderful job of moderating a mock debate on retention versus acquisition in 2023. So this is the year. And we've got two great people from Hero Packaging and Bangn Body, but I'll hand over to Steph and I'll let you introduce them.
Oops. Perfect. Thanks, Rob. So today's consumers want things instantly, and they're very much ready to pay for it, and a lot for it as well. In some recent research, 72% of shoppers ranked fast shipping as a top 3 factor when making an online purchasing decision. At Uber Direct, where I currently work, we see an average of a 99% delivery completion rate and a 98% on-time delivery rate, which is pretty impressive when you're thinking about how you satisfy those customers who want their dog food for their furry friend, their groceries from their favorite supermarket, their beauty products from their favorite brand, or the speaker for the weekend tunes, and they want it on demand and as quickly as possible. This just shows the importance of convenience when you're thinking about your customer experience. And you need to think about how you're acquiring your customers and retaining your customers, not only through that convenience, but through your overall customer experience, which is a great segue into the main topic for this discussion today, which is acquisition versus retention. Now, it's obviously important to incorporate both. From that show of hands, there's obviously a lot more people looking at retention here today, but let's definitely look at both sides and also see where some retailers could maybe look at new different tactics, and also, if you've not started yet, where to start. We're going to hear from two incredible Australian brands who I hugely admire and who've dabbled in both of these strategies. But each of the brands have a unique perspective on how they've achieved their level of success in this market and in other markets. And specifically, we're going to look at how one side looks at acquisition and one side looks at retention. So we're going to have a bit of a face-off, a bit of a showdown. So if we bring them up on stage.
Let's get ready to rumble! Nothing here to see, just a kill out me, trying to cuss and see, trying to figure it out.
All right, ladies, so we're going to keep it clean. But to introduce our acquisition corner is Anita Sarkar, who's the co-founder and CEO of Hero Packaging. Anita and her husband co-founded Hero Packaging, which is an online home compostable packaging company. Hero Packaging is now a global company that has an incredible growth in the last 4 years. They've sold over 20 million compostable mailers and now have over 40,000 customers. So please welcome Anita. And now in our retention corner, we have Priscilla Hadjiantoni, who's the co-founder and CEO of Bangn Body. Priscilla founded Bangn Body in 2019, where she left behind a corporate finance job to create a brand that would offer something truly different to women who wanted to look for a simpler and more effective approach to skincare. Priscilla brings valuable insights into what it takes to succeed in today's competitive landscape and brings a brand to the market with a bang. So each side are going to present their arguments. As I said, they're going to keep it clean. There's going to be no punches thrown. But we'll also think about each side from an acquisition and retention perspective. But both sides are actually going to present and cross-examine each other's opposing arguments as well. We'll see if we've got a bit of time for some Q&A, and then we'll do a little bit of a vote in the room as well, and we'll see whether those hands that we took at the start maybe change. So we'll hand over to Anita first.
Thank you, Steph. Hi. So customer acquisition is far more important than retention, and I have the receipts to prove it. So we usually struggle when we're deciding to spend where our money is going to be spent. So either it's going to be on acquiring new customers or spending it on the people that already love us. And it's usually going to the people that love us because it's easier to manage and it's cheaper to do. But by doing this doesn't get you more market share, doesn't allow you to penetrate the market. And that is how you grow any business. And the argument here is how to grow a brand. So what we know is this: acquisition always leads to more retention, but not all retention leads to more acquisition. And this is proved by the law of double jeopardy. Does anyone know this law? Double jeopardy. Has anyone read the book How Brands Grow by Byron Sharp? No, you should read it. It's a great book. So it essentially states that the more brand penetration that you can acquire, the more loyalty your brand will naturally get. And in saying that, right, maintaining a great product and great experience is of course really important. But if you only focus all of your budget on retention strategies and loyalty strategies, you will not penetrate the market further and your brand will not grow. So my advice is to focus on acquisition, and retention will naturally follow. But acquisition can get extremely expensive, so we need to figure out cost-effective ways of doing customer acquisition. And the overarching idea here is to be everywhere, all at once, at any given point in time. And that's how I grew Hero Packaging with limited budget. So if someone is browsing on TikTok, your brand should be showing up. If someone is Googling something, your brand should be showing up. If they're on YouTube, your brand should be showing up. If they're in store and they're Googling prices online, your brand should be showing up. This concept of mental availability is the crux of customer acquisition, and I have 4 strategies for you that I think are absolutely essential. These are nitty-gritty strategies and not high level, and I want you to take them away and actually use them in the companies that you work for. So if you could take out your phones and actually take notes, please, because I've done a lot of research here. So the first thing that I want you to do is focus on social media SEO. Okay, so we're talking about using TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram as the new Google search. We're going to create videos and treat them like blog posts for Google. When you are creating videos, you want to think about what customers are asking, and you want to use them in the captions and the comments and the headlines, and use the same hashtag as the headline. And the reason you do that is because when anyone is searching on any social platform for an answer to a question, your video will show up. And it won't only show up on TikTok, it's going to show up on Google, because Google is actually using TikTok and YouTube videos to show up in search results. If you do this across all your social platforms, you will be considered an authority in your space, and you will bring a lot of people into the top of your funnel. The second type of cost-efficient marketing to get new customers is Facebook ads. And that's never changed, right? We've always spoken about Facebook ads, but specifically this year, we have been introduced to Advantage Plus Facebook ads. Now, these ads are the best type of ads to get more people into the top of your funnel at the cheapest rate. They will show the exact right ad to the right people who are about to purchase, and they'll show them the right ad creative at the right time. So fashion brands like Fate are getting a 20 to 58x ROAS on these ads, and Hero Packaging is getting about, as a B2B business, we're getting about 11 to 12x ROAS. They are incredible to bring in new customers into the top of funnel. The third thing, and I think all of you must do this, but we're going to do it in a better way, is using ads to get email signups. And the purpose is to build out your first party data, right? We want to have a pool of extremely interested people that may not necessarily want to make a purchase straight away, but we're building them up so that when you do something and make an announcement, launch something, have a big sale, whatever you do, have an announcement, they are there and ready to purchase from you. And it is a great way to acquire new customers. Spending $1,000 and getting 10,000 email subscribers is a pretty great way to get more market share. And the last tip, and this is a great one, and I really want you to write this one down, is affiliates and referrals, but more than what you know it is. So we're going to talk about actual benefits and not that $10 credit that you give to people when they refer someone, right? We want to talk about something of actual value. So this is something that a lot of companies don't do very well. They use this common referral software, and you're not being very creative with the actual prize that you're giving to someone when they refer you. People don't want to have to go into their emails and then find your brand and then click that link only to get that $10 credit off their next purchase. What they want to do is get something of high value, and a company that has done this really well is Uber. So Uber gave people a free ride if they referred someone. So if you assume that the driver is getting, say, about 80% of that, and an average ride is about $20, then the cost of customer acquisition is only $16, but you've acquired a new returning customer. So this method can be extremely valuable for your brand, and even Wharton Business School has said that referred customers are more loyal. And like I said before, acquisition leads naturally to loyalty. So I hope that I have convinced you that acquisition is better than retention. After all, this event is called #Scale, and there is no scale without customer acquisition. Thank you very much.
She's put up a pretty good fight. I think that those votes at the start might change. Right, Priscilla, over to you.
Compelling, for sure. I think ultimately, we have to understand that, in today's climate, more than ever, acquisition is more expensive than ever, and therefore it can compromise your bottom line, your profitability, and also the opportunity for growth. If you're not profitable, if you're constantly in the red, how are you actually going to be able to spend money on digital marketing or anything that will help you scale the business? Ultimately, your cold customers, your loyalists, are the ones that are going to help keep your profitability healthy, so then you are able to then leverage new opportunities to be able to scale and grow. Bangn Body is only 4 years old. I started my business in my mum's living room, and I did not do any digital marketing for 1 whole year. So I think that just establishes that ultimately scale doesn't necessarily just come from paid media. What I did was I really allowed myself to organically share my brand and product with my community. Community is the heartbeat of Bangn Body, and it should be the heartbeat for everyone's businesses. Ultimately, they're the ones that are going to recommend word of mouth. Where has that actually gone? Word of mouth is the best and most effective form of marketing there is. You're going to trust your friend over a digital marketing ad. So ultimately, you need to understand exactly how your customers buy and ultimately where they are coming through. So then you can really retain them and nurture them and ultimately win them to come back again and again. So what does that look like? I'm going to give you all of the things that are in Bangn Body's tech stack and how it's really helped us grow authentically with our community, and ultimately how our repeat customer rate is over 55%. So what we do is now we have I want to step it back a little bit, because I think it can be quite overwhelming when you think about a tech stack and what that looks like. Can everyone give me a show of hands who currently run email marketing? Okay. SMS marketing? Okay. Wow. Okay. These are the two things I want to start with. So email marketing is the most cost-effective way to communicate to your audience in a really authentic and a personable way. You can segment, you can understand their needs through the way that they're coming through the business. If you've got quizzes on your website, pop-ups, you can leverage all of that data. So with that, you can build automated flows. You can really understand how the consumer behaves, and you can really get a touch point at every single step. So email marketing is a really important way to be able to keep your loyalists in your funnel, remind them when they might have, they haven't purchased for a couple of weeks, or depending on what that cycle looks like, but also as well with abandoned carts, you're recovering your customers far cheaper than if you were to have to rely on digital marketing for new acquisition. So SMS marketing. This has allowed Bangn Body to receive a 20x ROAS every time we send an SMS. It has been an absolute game changer in ensuring that we can ensure that our customers are coming back, but also you'll be surprised potentially with new customers coming into the fold based on using SMS. So we have automated flow set up, so abandoned carts, as well as anything to communicate to the customer that there's something there that, they might have been looking at. We forget, people are forgetful, and, maybe they don't have their business card, their bank card available at the time. So that is a really awesome, friendly reminder to do so. As well as when you are actually running big campaigns, it is a huge missed opportunity if you're not running SMS marketing alongside your campaigns. They can be really tailor-made and you can see really quick, fast returns. In regards to the next biggest thing, which ultimately is, I feel, the way of the future for retention, is loyalty. How many people have a loyalty program set up? Amazing. This is really exciting space to be in. We implemented a loyalty program not long ago, and we have seen huge opportunity for growth in the way that we speak more deliberately and more purposefully to our customers to provide them a really amazing experience. Not only are they able to redeem points and actually get redemptions that are turned into vouchers or opportunities to redeem free gifts at checkout, but it means that you are actually speaking to them in a way that they feel cared about, and they're VIPs. Ultimately, as mentioned, to understand what it means to have retention and acquisition, you can forever be spending for the same customer. Imagine if you had to spend this exorbitant amount of dollars to acquire that one customer, where if you ultimately acquired them once but have retained them, it is going to be so much more cost effective and so much better for your bottom line.
Good. Thank you so much.
All right, so we can see it's pretty crucial to have both, but because we want to play fair, we actually want to hear from both sides about the opposing side. So, Anita, do you want to give us a bit of a rundown of some of the strategies from a retention perspective?
What Hero does for retention? Okay, so yes, I agree. Retention is very important. We also have a loyalty program. We also have emails and SMSs. So of course, it is so important. I would say probably the biggest thing that we do differently than most other brands is that we create all of our products and services and we co-create them with our customers. So we set aside a group of VIP customers, people who've bought from us 20 times or more. They go automatically into a list, and then we ask them about the next size, the next color they want to see, the next design, whatever that is. And so we use them to really bounce off of to create products. So customer co-creation is probably what we do.
Perfect. Priscilla?
I definitely think you need a very healthy balance between acquisition and retention. I feel like one can't thrive without the other, so it's how you be really strategic in your businesses that will allow for both of those to thrive and really work together as one. So what we do, we look at our opportunities in influencer marketing and affiliate marketing, and that has really helped to drive cost-effective leads, quality leads to the website. Ultimately with that, I feel like, of course, you need your own paid media, but again, paid media is more expensive than ever, so how you can really leverage and understand your budgeting, what you're willing to spend for, how much does it actually cost to acquire that customer to your website, and will they convert? So absolutely, you need new customers in that wider top of funnel to bring them down, but then that retention is what's going to build. So ultimately, if you're out of balance, you might have lots of one-time customers, but you're constantly spending lots of money to get those customers. If you've got too much of a bottom of funnel, which is retention, well then you're only going to be stayed at that scale for as big as that retention pool is.
Perfect. Liked how we played fair there. So seen it from both sides. Thank you very much, ladies. If anyone has any questions, please send them through to the Slido. We might have to wrap it up pretty quickly as there is a break coming, but I'm sure that everyone is gasping for a bit of a refresher, but hopefully this still pumped everyone up for the rest of the day, and fantastic hearing from both Priscilla and Anita. I think overall it's just very clear that both strategies are extremely important when thinking about how you create convenient, reliable and a seamless customer experience to turn first-time customers into lifetime customers. You really need to think about how you can get those customers in the door and how you keep them there. So I'm going to cast that vote again. Who is actually going to be focusing on acquisition for the year ahead? Oh, nice. That's more than last time. Yeah, good. Put up a good fight. What about retention? Oh, what about both? Nice. That's what we like to see. All right, we're going to have to wrap up from there. But if you do have any other questions, as I say, we're heading to a break. Anita and Priscilla are more than happy to answer any of your questions. Please feel free to grab them and ask them whatever you like. But thank you so much.